I'm back, and it has been an entire week. So, car news used to sort of mark the beginning and end of, a week. So at the beginning, you'd have car news on Monday, you'd go through the entire week of planned videos, and then at the end of the week, it would go through to the next week, which would be car news. And now that it's moved on Tuesday, car of the week kind of marks the beginning and end of the week, but, car news still kind of does. So why did I skip a week? Well, car news. I skipped a week because of car news. Car news was super, super bad. There were very few articles. The past car newses that had been, a while ago, they just didn't feel good. Like, all the news that I was covering, I was sort of, at the beginning of my channel when I wasn't really in it, now I'm in it. Like, I'm in with the news. I'm rolling with the groove. When I wasn't rolling with the groove, I was just kind of making videos on, like, used cars and weird stuff like that because I didn't know any of the news. Now that I did car news to keep myself more informed and all that stuff, I've been trying to do more car news-based videos and more history videos than just here are the best used cars in X category. Well, I was kind of having to go back to the here are the best used cars in X category, which I'm going to do a few videos in, because I'm not going to lie, they bring home the big bags. They bring home the big bags. They bring home the money bags in that they get views. Anyway, car news was stinking. There was pretty much no car news that I had. So I figured I would give it a break to let the car news stir up. And boy, has it, we have so much car news. There's so many tabs, I can't even keep track of it. So, the Ford Mustang has been recalled for phantom steering again. Isn't that fantastic? Also, Honda, I didn't put this here because I couldn't find an article that wasn't really leaning in either direction, of course, because now are very politicized times. Not that I don't want to cover that, of course. Every person has some political bias, but that's not really the purpose for this channel. I don't want you to click on a video of mine and be hearing my political views. So, I don't want to be pushed into politics, just for the sake of content, and I don't want to be pushed into that older category. But Honda, because of the new tariffs, have decided that they're going to build the new Civic in Illinois. So, pretty big news. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class has been recalled for failing brakes. Starting off with some recalls now. Also, Polestar has secured an additional $450 million of funding. Isn't that fantastic? So their sales fell, and now, yay, they have 480 million euros, approximately 500 million in loans. So, yay! Hyundai Palisade versus Toyota Highlander. I can officially tell you with no doubt in my mind that the Toyota Highlander is the better SUV. Also, can Quattro make an A4 4000? Can Quattro make a 4,000-pound long wheelbase diesel electric sedan into a rally god? I'm just telling you right now, yes, it can. Also, Xiaomi, the cheap Chinese, really bad knockoff, except also kind of like I like Xiaomi, and that Xiaomi's not bad. I'm trash talking Xiaomi too much. They're not bad. I like Xiaomi enough. I like OnePlus better, but for my foreign car brand of the choice. But Xiaomi came out with the cars, and they look like this, and they're supposed to be new. They're nothing too new, and I don't think they're going to be all that interesting, considering, 1,500 horsepower. That's very impressive. But $73,000 out of reach of the average person. Also, don't expect used car prices to get any better in 2025. This is, Jalopnik, so of course. I kind of agree. Don't expect the prices to just dramatically fall, because I'm sure, unfortunately, they will not. Also, the 2027 Mercedes-Benz GLC class EV has been spotted again, so, Mercedes is working on some EVs. Also, the Mercedes design boss says, design will be done by AI. My successor is a machine. Yeah, you're gonna have, a Mercedes-Benz with a washing machine in the front of it and Skibbity toilet coming out the trunk. Yeah, sure, Chief Gordon. It's fantastic. Such a great job. Also, Aston Martin is shedding 5% of its staff as losses rise. No one wants an Aston Martin. Aston Martin's a great company with great history. So is Holden. That doesn't mean that great car companies can't die. I'm sorry, but they do occasionally. Also, the Florida man has crashed through a BMW showroom after being denied an M4 CS test drive because of his bad credit. Honestly, it's a mood. Also, the 2025 Polaris Slingshot 10 marks a decade of unbridled fun. No, it marks a decade of dads with cigarette burns and beer bellies that watch the news all day wanting to have some fun because their wife, in their mind, will not stop nagging them. That's what it marks. Seriously, does a single cool person, like an actually cool person, own a Polaris slingshot? I don't think so. Something to ponder. Also, the 2025 GMC Yukon AT4 Ultimate stretches the limits of off-road luxury. No, it doesn't. And also, just for some shits and giggles here, GM has decided that they're doing this now, where they're taking, like, the Ford idea of the embedded stuff, and they're just shoving it in the screen. So it looks bad, and you've got this like thing here that doesn't match at all, and you can very clearly see the seam screen. I'm just gonna rip GMC a new one here. First of all, you morons, no one wants your cars in the first place because Chevrolet is cheaper, and your cars really suck real bad at doing anything, even off-roading. They compared to a Chevrolet, which is always cheaper and usually better off-road because it doesn't have all the fancy bullshit on it. GMCs are kind of irrelevant unless you like the look of them aesthetically for trucks, which is up to you. It looks weird and ugly. The top of the steering wheel being glossy, I'm guessing to watch you or do some shit, is gimmicky and dumb. This gigantic screen, no one wants it. I want the inside of my car to look like a fighter jet, an old fighter jet with all the switches and everything. That's how I want it to look. This just looks bad. Also, you have to actually update things. I know General Motors. I know you're going, oh, Colin Quacko, why are you kicking our ass like this? Why? We're General. Don't you love GM? Yeah, this is practically just the previous generation where the weird gear shifter used to be here, except they just shoved a gigantic screen in it and did this. I mean, really. Style, you ever heard of style? Why couldn't you? They're so cheap where they have to use parts to make it symmetrical on both sides. Not only because they think it looks good, which I assure you, this is not worth anything, which I assure you it doesn't. They could have just extended this all the way to the door and put this there, or put a vent there like they did on the Toyota. Here, let me give you a quick example here. They did it on the, I'm just going to search out of that. So here's the same design element done by a rather competent manufacturer. The window defroster is part of this style element, and so is the clock. So they kind of worked that style element here. Let's go back to the awesome sauce. There it is. This just, it doesn't work. That's just dumb. Just dumb to have that there. Also, you may have noticed this, it's all above the steering wheel, so you're going to have to, stick one of your hands on, like, the armrest, another on the glove box. You're going to have to hoist yourself up to be able to see over the damn thing, which is already bad enough when you have such a bulbous hood. Can I see the hood? Yeah, look at that thing. And if you took this thing off-road, that would get stuck in some crap. You'd need like $1,000 worth of structural repairs in the frame. A single pebble hits the front, and your entire frame is screwed. Just a dumb car. I mean, GMC, come on, do better. This is just ugly. This is just repurposed garbage. It's too long to ever be actually considered for an off-roader, and it's too undurable and I want to say classy, but it's the opposite of class to ever succeed in any way. Also, putting HDMI is good, but you want USB there. No one really cares about HDMI enough to have it in that position. It's just an ugly car, and I'm sure you can't even see over the front of it. And the gigantic wheels. There's no point to having big wheels if the line for the actual part of the wheel that's below the bottom of the car is halfway through the wheel. So just ripping you a new one. And I'm just definitely not just extending the video, but I actually don't like GMC. The Kia EV2 concept is previewing with a baby blue. It's due in 2026. I don't get the naming scheme. So this is the EV2, and then they have the EV6 and EV9. So I guess it makes sense. But when you do EV4, because the EV2 I would say for like a small hatchback, I don't know. It's got the ugly four-spoke gigantic wheels. Again, useless, of course. No off-roading happening here. Also, the mid-sized Lucid SUV, the Lucid Gravity, is debuting in late 2025 or early 2026 with a sub-$50,000 price tag. So, I would say that doesn't matter, but it kind of does. Also, Alpine adds a new A10 models for sports cars' final year. Unfortunately, the Alpine A10, everyone's favorite car at the beginning of the game, in the beginning of the game, in that weird French championship. Is this just me or plays Gran Turismo? Like, remember the French championship in the beginning of Gran Turismo? This is like the official car of that championship. Also, the 2027 Mercedes-Benz AMG GLS 63 spied possibly testing a new V8, not V6. This ain't no V6 here. It's a V8. America. Yeah. So this kind of makes up for all the EVs they've been doing recently. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope you don't mind my little week break, my little weeky vacation. I didn't even realize it was a week until today. And I totally didn't just make up an excuse to justify my laziness. Anyway, goodbye now.